afternoon to you all. Today I am starting a new series where I will explain the fundamental of polity. And the most significant thing of this series will be that it will be exam oriented. And exam orientation of this series will be through question solving from a question bank. mm, and I will explain each and every answer, and in this way we will revise and explain all the concept of polity. So this will be the significant feature of this series. I will start with a very important word which you have heard in this Panchayati Raj chapter, that is democratic decentralization. So this is the main essence of this Panchayati Raj. So we all know that the main essence of democracy is the participation and control of governance by the people. And such participation is possible only when the power of state are decentralized to the district, block and the village level, where all section of people can sit together, discuss their problem and suggest solution, plan, execute as well as monitor the implementation of this program. So this is the main essence of uh, any democratic country or a democratic setup. So starting with the first question, the nomenclature of rural local government as Panchayati Raj was the result of the suggestion of which of the Indian leaders? So you can guess the answer of this question. Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel and Mahatma Gandhi. So if you have read polity, then you must be knowing the answer that it is M.K. Gandhi, because in the directive principle of state policy it has been clearly written that one of the vision of Mahatma Gandhi was the organization of village panchayat. So the answer is Mahatma Gandhi. Second question, the decision to conduct panchayat election is taken by which of the following bodies? So you have the four options, and we can if you have read polity, then you must be knowing that it is a state subject, that Panchayati Raj is a state subject, means that all the laws, rules and regulations are made by the state government, because this was one of the main motive behind putting it into the state subject, because the main motive of Panchayati Raj system is the decentralization of everything, the decision making, powers, authority, rule making and everything. So the answer must be the state government. Mm, This is another question. The subject of Panchayati Raj is in which list? So, as we know that in the seventh schedule of Indian Constitution, there are mainly three lists: Union list, which we call it Federal list. Second one is a state list. Third is concurrent list. So the subject of Panchayati Raj is put in the states list. As I told you earlier that the main motive behind the Panchayati Raj is decentralization. So it has been given to the states, so they can make the laws accordingly related to Panchayati Raj. The Panchayati Raj is included in the same question. It is in the state list. I am leaving this question because I will explain it later. Same question is there. The system of Panchayati Raj, same question. This is another question. Who was the Prime Minister of India at the time of 74th, 73rd and 74th Amendment to the Indian Constitution? related to the Panchayati and Nagarpalikas, that is municipalities. So we all know that this chapter of Panchayati Raj and municipalities was added by the 70 73rd Amendment and 74th Amendment respectively. 73rd was for Panchayati Raj and 74th was for municipalities, and this was added in 1992 and came into force in 1993. So this was the basic knowledge. It is a subject of state list. So these are the basic knowledge we have to fact we have to remember. So it was the Congress government under the leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao, which was the government at the center at the time of implementation of these amendment. Next question. The provision regarding panchayat and municipalities was made in Indian Constitution in. So, as I told you that it was amended in the constitutional amendment was done in 1992 and it came into force in 1993, 1 year after the amendment. So it is 1993. When was third tier of government? So third tier of government. Third tier of government is the local government. First is the central government, second is the state government, and we call Panchayati Raj and municipalities as the third tier of government. So this was added in 1992 because it has been here written that when it was added to the Indian Constitution. So it was 1992. National Panchayati Raj Day. National Panchayati Raj Day is celebrated on 24th of April because on this date finally the Panchayati Raj Act came into force. The date was 24th April 1993. So the Panchayati Raj Day is also celebrated on 24th April. These questions are related to Panchayati Raj, but I will explain them later as they need more explanation. At first we are taking very easy questions which are related to the starting part of this Panchayati Raj. The legislative origin of 73rd Amendment can be traced back. So I also do not remember this bill, but if we read carefully the Lakshmikant, then we can see that it was the 64th constitutional amendment which was introduced by the Rajiv Gandhi government. So this is the main advantage of solving the question, that we can exactly trace the question from the static portion, that from where they are asking the questions. So it was 64th constitutional amendment under the leadership of Rajiv Gandhi. So you have to cram it. There is no other way. Next question is, which of the following amendment to the Indian Constitution provided the constitutional status to the Panchayati Raj system? So it is an easy question. We can easily guess it was 73rd Amendment. So you have to be careful. It is asking the Panchayati Raj system. So it was 73rd Amendment. And for the municipalities, that is urban local government. These are rural local government and municipalities are urban local government. So it was through the 74th Amendment. For the Panchayati it was 73rd Amendment. Year is same for both, 1992. Next question is, Panchayati Raj system is a system of. So we can see the options: local level self-governance, three-tier governance with by-relation, democratic decentralization, hierarchy construction. So we have studied that it is a part of local self-governance. That is also correct. Three-tier governance. That is correct. Democratic decentralization, as I told you in the very beginning. So these all three options are correct, and all these three options are only in the option C. The hierarchical construction is ruled out. So the answer will be C. And furthermore, there is no hierarchy because Panchayati Raj system has been given a constitutional status. It is not under the state, though the rules are made by the state, but it has a separate recognition from the constitution. Next question is, which of the following was constituted under the Panchayati Raj system? So basically, we all know the Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat is constituted under the Panchayati Raj system. I will tell you further more details about this in the next video. Next question is the fundamental objective of Panchayati Raj system. So you have to guess the answer. People's participation in development, political accountability, democratic decentralization, financial mobilization. So basically, people's participation. Here they are asking about the fundamental object. So fundamental object of Panchayati Raj is, as I told you, democratic decentralization. So democratic decentralization, people's participation, and the main essence of democratic decentralization is people's participation in the development, decision making, policy making. As we know that in the Gram Sabha, all the people who are the registered voter of a village, they are placed in the Gram Sabha, and they all decide the policies or take decisions of the village. So the fundamental objective is people's participation in democratic decentralization. Though these are also the objective, but they are very broad. They are the broad objective, and here we are asking about the fundamental objective. Though there is political accountability also, financial mobilization is also done through State Finance Commission to the Panchayati Raj. So they are other broad objective, but they are asking about the fundamental objective. So the answer will be C, 1 and 3. Which of the following Indian Constitution direct state government to organize village panchayat? As I told you that in the DPSP, Article 40. Article 40 talks about the organization of village panchayat, which was the vision of Mahatma Gandhi. So it is under the Gandhian principle. Article 40 of the Indian Constitution advises state same the organization of village panchayat, vision of Mahatma Gandhi. Panchayati Raj is mainly aimed at same decentralization of power to the villagers. So you have to keep in mind the word democratic decentralization. Democracy, I told you, it is a government by the people, for the people, of the people, and decentralization is away from the center, that the decision making is taking place away from the center, at the village level, at the block level, or at the district level. So this is the main essence of Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj is organized as a unit of self-government under. This is simple one question, 73rd Amendment. I told you earlier. What is the main characteristic of Panchayati Raj system? It has three types of government. It aims to give social justice to the villages. some member of parliament are representative in the Jila Parishad. So though all this is also true, three tier of government, third tier of government, social economic justice, we all know that how it gives social and economic justice to the villages, and this is also correct the last, but we will read this question in detail later because it need further more explanation. What is the main purpose of Panchayati Raj? So we can say that to enable people to participate in developmental administration, because to increase executive, this is not the objective, this is not also the objective, this is not also the objective. Fundamental objective we have to remember: people's participation in the democracy. Panchayati Raj in India represent decentralization of power, participation of people, community development. Decentralization of power we have read, participation of people is also there. And this is not also not the fundamental objective, though ultimately it help in the community development. So all these questions have to be keep in mind that um, what option suits here. All of these also is an option, so we can take a risk that all three options can also be correct. So this was the broad introduction part and the question related to the introduction part of Panchayati Raj. After the introduction part, there are various committees relating to the Panchayati Raj. So I will not tell you each and every point in the all these committees, but we have to remember or cram some important fact relating to that committee, which are asked in the exam, because they are constantly asked in any exam, in state PCS or UPSC or any other exam. So for the introduction part, I am telling that as we can see from the Lakshmikant, I must have read through Lakshmikant that there was a program by the government. At the earliest, it was community development program. So it was basically aimed at developing the rural areas, providing the basic amenities. In the 1952, later National Extensive Service 1953, after the success of CDP, it was extended to other areas also. And after this NES, National Extension Service, the government appointed a committee named as Balwant Rai Mehta Committee in 1957. So this was first major committee which was appointed by the government to see the working of these programs. And government asked some suggestion to expedite the process of rural development. So the first committee was Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. So I have learned this sequence because I also forget the sequence of these committees. So I have learned the sequence like in a way bag. First it was Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, Ashok Mehta Committee. Third is Gadgil Committee. Right? Not Gadgil. It was GVK Rao Committee. After this bag, I have learned like LTG, bag light. Bag is light. L is LM Singhvi, T for Thangan, and G for Gadgil. The last one was the Gadgil Committee. So these are the important committee you have to remember, keep in mind. And this is sequence, this is a chronological sequence. First was the Balwant Rai, Ashok Mehta, GVK Rao, LM Singhvi, Thangan and Gadgil. You can also remember the date. Mainly they are asked in the UPSC, not UPSC, in the PCS. UPSC does not focus on the years. It basically focuses on the conceptual part. So we will try to remember some of the recommendations of committee through the questions. So the question is, which of the following committee recommended the three-tier Panchayati Raj system? So three-tier Panchayati Raj system. So basically the Balwant Rai Mehta committee was the first committee. Like I told you the chronological order back. The Balwant Rai Mehta committee gave a three-tier Panchayati Raj system. So you have to remember the Balwant Rai Mehta committee gave a three-tier system. Mm, mm, there is another question. Name the committee which was set up by NDC, National Development Council, for the reorganization of CDP and NES, which suggested a three-tier system of rural local self-government. I told you that these are the programs CDP and NES, which was focused on the community development mainly in the rural areas. So a committee was appointed by the government to look into these programs. So it was Balwant Rai Mehta committee, and it also suggested a three-tier system. The answer is Balwant Rai Mehta committee. The answer of this question is also Balwant Rai Mehta committee three-tier system. This is also three-tier system. Which kind of Panchayati Raj system was recommended by Balwant Rai Mehta? Again, three-tier. B A G, bag, light, LTG. So this is the chronological order. Next question. It is of the match the following. Balwant Rai Mehta committee. So Balwant Rai Mehta committee, I told you that it gave a three-tier system. Second was Ashok Mehta. So Ashok Mehta gave a two-tier system. Balwant Rai three-tier system. So Balwant Rai, Ashok Mehta two-tier, LM Singhvi and GVK Rao. LM Singhvi. So we can read out these important features from the book. Like in the LM Singhvi, it was, we can guess out from the answer. A has 2, B has 1, C has 4. Local self-government and GVK Rao. One of the most important recommendations of LM Singhvi was the constitutional status to the Panchayati Raj. So this was the main recommendation you have to keep in mind of LM Singhvi. So these are they are not much important recommendation. Yes, but you can, if you know two of them, you can easily guess out the answer. Consider the following committees on Panchayat, arrange them in the chronological order. So I told you the sequence back. So first is Balwant Rai Mehta, Ashok Mehta, G for GVK Rao, LTG. LM Singhvi is the last in this question. T for Thangwan, G for Gadgil. So the answer will be P. Balwantrai Mehta, Ashok Mehta, G.V.K. Rao. After that, L.M. Singhvi. So that makes the answer right. Arrange the following committee on Panchayati Raj in chronological sequence and select the answer. Again the same question. Committees are also same. Bag. LTG. This is another one question. So in this question you have to keep in mind the years, which are not generally asked, but you can cram some of the important, like Balwantrai Mehta. It was very early. Balwantrai Mehta was made the recommendation in 1957. It was in 1957. After that, Ashok Mehta, after 20 years, 1977. After a gap of 20 years, the Ashok Mehta committee was appointed. So it was 1957. L.M. Singh, Ashok Mehta was in 1977. After that, 1 year, after that it was in the G.V.K. Rao. It was in 1985. So 1957, after a gap of 20 years, 1977. After that 1985, it was G.V.K. Rao. So 57, 77, 85. LTG. It was 1 year after 1986, and the last committee both were in 1988. 1988. So this is not much a complicated thing to remember, but yes, we do forget, but we can easily remember it by solving more and more questions. Like the next question is, here also Ashok Mehta. Ashok Mehta, I told you that after a gap of 20 years, first was in the 1957, so it was in 1977. So A has 3. No, B has 3. So B has 3. So the answer is Balwantrai Mehta. It was 1957. So C has 1. C has 1. B has 3. So the answer is D. So in this way you can remember 1957, after a gap of 20 years, 1977. After that 1985. After that these are BAG, like. So in this way you can remember these dates, the years, not dates. So here's the next question. It is similar question. We have to arrange it into the chronological order. So again the sequence is bag, B, A, 3, 4. The answer is C. The chairman of the committee set up for the recommendation of Panchayati Raj. The first committee we have to keep in mind, it was Balwantrai Mehta committee. Next question is, the committee on whose recommendation the Panchayati Raj system was introduced in the country was headed by. So this question has been asked multiple times. So we have to remember the first committee was Balwantrai Mehta, BAG. Who is considered as the architect of Panchayati Raj in India? Same question. Architect or the founding committee. It was headed by Balwant Rai Mehta. So these all are the same question. Decentralization system was recommended by Balwant Rai Mehta. Who is considered as the architect of Panchayati Raj? Same question. Balwant Rai Mehta. Panchayati Raj was started in India in the state of Rajasthan. And so this question is very basic fact that the Rajasthan was the first state to implement the Panchayati Raj. It was in the Nagaur district, and it was in the year 1959. Before before the constitutional recognition of Panchayati Raj in the Indian Constitution. So Rajasthan was the first state, and the district was Nagaur. And after the Rajasthan, second state which followed the suit was Andhra Pradesh. So second state was Andhra Pradesh. First was Rajasthan. Panchayati Raj was first introduced in October 1959. First introduced. So it is obviously Rajasthan. It has been asked in IS, RAS, BPSC. The first Panchayati Raj system was inaugurated. So if you want to remember the date, that is 2nd October, Gandhi Jayanti. So it was Nagaur district of Rajasthan, and it was inaugurated by the then Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The first state to implement the Panchayati Raj system in India. Again, it was first state to implement Panchayati Raj system in India. So the option does not suit the answer. It was Rajasthan, but it has not been given here. First state to adopt Panchayati Raj, Rajasthan. Which of the following state was the first to set up Panchayati Raj? Rajasthan. When and where was Panchayati Raj system introduced in India for the first time? So I told you the date. At least you can remember the date. It was Gandhi Jayanti, 2nd October 1959 in the Nagaur district of Rajasthan. According to democratic decentralization recommended by Balwant Rai Mehta committee, it was the first committee. So what it was? It gave a 3-tier Panchayati Raj system. 2-tier was given by second committee, that is Ashok Mehta. Only Jila Parishad. So no Jila Parishad, only Jila Parishad. So that make it incorrect, because not only Jila Parishad but also at village and block level the institution were recommended. So 3-tier is the correct answer. Who was the chairman of the committee who proposed democratic decentralization and Panchayati Raj? So it was Balwant Rai Mehta. So these are similar questions, but one of the advantages of this is that we can remember by solving more and more similar questions. The decentralization system was recommended by Balwant Rai. Establishment of Panchayat system was recommended by Balwant Rai. Which committee had first recommended 3-tier? So you have to remember the fact of this Panchayati Raj committee. Balwant Rai Mehta committee gave a 3-tier system of Panchayati Raj. Ashok Mehta 2-tier. 3-tier was initially recommended by same question. Which of the following committee was not concerned with the Panchayati Raj? So we can remember that this was also there, this was also there, this was also there. So it was not there. PVN Rao. BAG, LTG, Balwant Rai Ashok, GVK Rao, LM Singhvi, Thangan and Gadgil. Which of the following committee is not associated with Panchayati Raj system? So we can guess out the answer. Ashok Mehta committee was related to the Panchayati Raj system. Balwant Rai Mehta committee was associated with the Panchayati Raj system. And Some committees are also there which are not much important, but if you have read Lakshmikant, then there was one more committee which is given in a table format, that is Santhanam committee. It was also related to the Panchayati Raj. So they were the minor committees which are not much significant. So, but sometimes question are asked in some exam, so you have to keep in mind. Which model was recommended by Ashok Mehta committee? So I told you that Ashok Mehta gave it 2 tier. It reduced from 3 to 1, as it was a second committee after Balwant Rai Mehta. Ashok Mehta committee recommended 2 tier. Which of the following committee also recommended creation of Nyay Panchayat? So this was one more important feature of Ashok Mehta committee. It gave a 2 tier system, and second most important thing was that it emphasized the focus. It emphasized on the formation of Nyay Panchayats. So this question tells you that what you have to keep in mind while reading the static part of the Lakshmikant. Which point we have to keep in mind, or we have to focus. So second tier and Nyay Panchayat. And other more important point can also be read from Lakshmikant. As we further solve the question, we will get further more points from the various committees. Which of the following recommended? Yeah. Next is the which of the following committee recommended the constitutional status to Panchayati Raj? So it was which committee? Constitutional status. The constitutional status was given by LM Singhvi committee. It has been asked 2 times in MPPCS also. Constitutionally recognized by, though other committees also recommended, but it was the committee which gave a more emphasis on the constitutional recognition of Panchayati Raj. So it was LM Singhvi committee, which was created in 1986. So it gave a recommendation that Panchayati Raj should be constitutionally recognized. Which of the following committee is not associated with Panchayati Raj system? So the Dinesh Goswami committee was not related to, it was related to the electoral reforms. So LM Singhvi was there, Ashok Mehta was there. There is further one minor committee like earlier Santhanam committee, Sadiq Ali committee. So these are also the committees, not significant committees, but we have to anyway remember them. So this was also related to Panchayati Raj. So Dinesh Goswami was related to electoral reforms. Which constitutional amendment granted constitutional status to Panchayati Raj? So you can easily figure out this answer of this question. Constitutional amendment which? 73rd. It was for Panchayati Raj institutions, and it was for 74th was for municipalities. This is called ruler ruler local government, and this is called urban local government. 73rd amendment of constitution was related to Panchayati Raj system. This is all about the basic part of Panchayati Raj, and the question related to the basic starting part of the Panchayati Raj. We will go further more in detail in the next question, for which I will make a separate video, and in this way I will explain the further more minute detail of Panchayati Raj in another video. Thank you and have a nice day.